Welcome to the Wrestling Replay. It's Kato here with the SummerSlam replay of the week. Before we get started, I gotta go ahead and shout the APA. I'm repping the APA today just because, But let's go ahead and jump into the SummerSlam card. Normally, I don't start off with the kickoff match, but today I'm going to talk about it only for one reason, right? We had Big E going against Baron Corbin. Big E gets the win over Corbin, as we all expected anyway. Corbin was chasing Big E for that Money in the Bank briefcase. He tried to steal it. Big E is reunited with his Money in the Bank briefcase. I mention this because if we want to see someone like Big E win the Universal title or win the WWE World Championship, he has to notch more quality wins. Yes, you're beating the Baron Corbins of the world, but I would like to see you take a little step up in competition just so it would be more believable when it's time for you to go against one of these world champions. Now, I understand that Big E is a Money in the Bank champion, Money in the Bank briefcase holder. I'm sorry, and he can go in at any time and challenge for this world championship title. He doesn't have to really come out there and say, "Hey, I'm going to challenge you, and let's have this match now." He could come out at any point. That's the whole point of winning the briefcase. I get it, but Big E's character kind of strike me as someone that's going to kind of, say, "Hey, I'm going to challenge you for your title. I'm not going to tell you when, but I'm putting you on notice that I'm coming for you." And if that's the route you want to go, he needs to build more momentum and he needs to get more quality wins. Now, let's jump right into the real SummerSlam card. Well, the main card, I should say, not the real card. We had RK Bro defeating AJ Styles and Omos for those Raw Tag Team Championships, which was the right move. I think this really got the crowd off to a hot start. RK Bro is really over right now, and it makes sense. Monday Night Raw is kind of a little dry. Like, I feel like most of the entertainment factor, the guys who can talk really well on the microphone, the guys who have the best storylines right now, the guys who are just the most entertaining, the people who are the most entertaining are over on the SmackDown side. That's why I consider SmackDown right now like their A show and Raw the B show. But with a team like RK Bro, the crowd loves them, right? Everyone loves RK Bro. They're funny, they're entertaining, and they can wrestle their asses off, more importantly. So, with these guys going over at the start of SummerSlam, perfect move. What I did like about this match, though, is the fact that Omos looked dominant from the very beginning of the matchup. It wasn't until he actually got out the ring after making the tag to AJ that RK Bro was able to actually go ahead and take advantage and, win the championships. So I like the fact that no one really has an answer yet for Omos. Him being the giant that he is, he's still dominant and he's still going to be a force going forward. So I like that. They got that part right. The next matchup we had was Alexa Bliss going against Eva Marie. Alexa Bliss got the win over Eva Marie like she should have. But more importantly to me is the fact that Doudrop announced the loss of Eva Marie. I need Doudrop to get away from Eva. It looks like this is what's finally about to happen. Doudrop is so talented. She is exactly what the Raw women's need right now in their roster because, hell, I'm getting tired of seeing Rhea and Charlotte. Though I love it. And I did say I want this feud to continue for years and years and years. Just because these two aren't facing each other directly one-on-one. Or even directly feuding with each other at the same time. This rivalry can still go on for years while Charlotte is going against a Doudrop. Or Rhea is going against a Naomi or Asuka or something like that. And then these two can clash again maybe a year down the line. And the storyline can still continue. It picks up right back where it left off at. Kind of like when Charlotte and Rhea fought in NXT for the NXT Women's Championship. When Rhea came to Raw, that rivalry picked right back up because the storyline was never over. The rivalry never really ended. So I like that with someone like Doudrop actually, on her own and can now go ahead and chase titles or have her own aspirations of what she want to do in the Raw women's roster. I like that. I like Doudrop getting away from Eva Marie. We had Damian Priest defeating Sheamus for that United States Championship. That was a good look for me. Honestly, I'm going to say this. This is one of the matches where I didn't know who was going to win. There's two matches like that, and this was one. I didn't know who was going to win. And And I could make an argument for either side actually, winning the championship or Sheamus holding on to the championship. But with Damian Priest, I like it. Finally, someone that came up or came over from that NXT roster, put on a really good match with him and Sheamus. You didn't really know who was going to win, kind of down to the wire. I like that. You was on the edge of your seat the whole matchup. It was a good, hard-hitting matchup, which I know a lot of fans are definitely really into now, especially with indie style becoming more popular, strong style being more popular in the U.S. People are able to get more eyes on that. So I like the hard-hitting action between the two. Damian Priest, I think he would be great as a United States champion. And I wouldn't honestly mind seeing Damian Priest and Drew McIntyre go ahead and locking it up at some point. I think that would be a really good matchup as well. Damian Priest is one of those big guys, but he moves damn near like a luchador. So I like Damian Priest a lot with this United States Championship around his waist. The next matchup, we got to see the Usos retain their SmackDown Tag Team Championships against the Mysterios. It looked like the Mysterios are starting to become a little bit of rocky. I don't mind it. I don't mind that because I think it is time for Dominic to go ahead and go out on his own. I would rather him be in NXT. I think he can learn more there. Just more of the style that I think he wants to wrestle in is guys he can learn from NXT, and he could take those risks where I feel like if you're on SmackDown, they're kind of going to kind of cap you from certain things you're able to do, especially someone like Dominic who isn't, all the way polished yet. And it showed in his matchup as well. Rey Mysterio still had to carry the team. He still had to do the brunt of the work. But they still made it like a damn good matchup. Now, the Usos was predictable to win this match, of course. And they was the right team to go over, in my opinion. But hell, it was still fun to watch. Even though I kind of knew what was going to happen. And I knew that Rey was going to be carrying most of the matchup. Which is what happened. But it was still entertaining to me. Damn, next. Man, I don't know if I ever been like, this was a roller coaster. It's like, you ever like go all the way up to the top and then they drop you down and all those feelings inside, you're like, oh, you're so excited and all that stuff. And then it's like, it just scares to a stop and the ride's over. Like, you don't even get to go no turns, no loops, or anything like that. That's how I felt like with the Becky return to Bianca Belair. In my opinion, I don't think Becky was ready for a match yet. In my opinion, I don't think Becky was ready. I don't think they even needed Becky to come back for a match, honestly, at SummerSlam. If you would have came out there and you would have just had Carmella, Bianca, and Zelina Vega have a triple threat match for that title, and then let Bianca go over and Becky come out there after the matchup, the pop would have still been as insane. It would have still been as big, and people would have been much more satisfied with it going over like that. Becky coming out and winning that title in under 25 seconds is, man, it's like a disgrace, man. It's like, it kind of almost make me it makes me wish that Becky didn't come back. Like in that fashion, like I don't know how, as a superstar returning, and you see this young promising, athlete, this young wrestler in front of you that's did everything that she's done, knocked down the birds that she's knocked down. Why would you agree to come back and do that? It sucks, man. I'm happy to have the man back, but damn, it could have went so many other different ways. Bianca could have still held that title for a little bit longer, and if Becky comes back on SmackDown, right, September the 10th, I believe, if she comes back on that SmackDown, they can have a nice 10-15 minute matchup, and then Bianca can drop it to her. Maybe it's she's never seen Becky before, so she's not ready for all her offensive movesets that she's going to give. She's one step behind of the veteran. Maybe it could be something like that. Maybe for the fact that Bianca's been wrestling week after week, pay-per-view after pay-per-view, maybe her body's a little bit tired. She's a little bit slower. She's not as strong as she was. She's not as fresh. And Becky coming in, having that layoff, she's fresh as a daisy. Maybe that's that little edge that she needed or had on top of Bianca to defeat her on the SmackDown and take the women's title. Something like that. SummerSlam didn't need this Becky coming back and defeating Bianca Belair in under 25 seconds. For what? I feel like the pop of her winning a title wasn't even as big as the pop as when she was walking down to the ramp. And that says something. That says a lot. That showed that a lot of people in that stadium was on board with what I'm saying. Like, what the hell is going on? Like, who wrote this into the plans tonight? That was crazy. But we got Becky back. Lord and behold, but once again, that's another notch to SmackDown. Another entertainer, another person that can kill it on the microphone and kill it inside the ring. So it just goes to show that SmackDown is still going to be that dominant show over Monday Night Raw, and that's just what it's going to be. From there, we moved on to another match that I felt kind of pointless and didn't understand the fact of why they was even wrestling anymore, and that was Drew McIntyre defeating Jinder Mahal. Drew McIntyre went out there and destroyed Veer and Shanky in a 2-on-1 handicap match, meaning that they could no longer come down to the ring and help Jinder. If he's destroying Veer and Shanky, why would I believe that he's going to come out there and lose to Jinder Mahal? He has no help. You didn't introduce anyone new to that faction. Maybe Muhammad Ali Mustafa Ali could have came down maybe or something like that. I don't know, but you didn't introduce anybody new into that faction. You really expected people to think that Jinder was going to be Drew McIntyre at SummerSlam. That was a pointless match. I understand you want to have Drew on the card, you got to, but you could have wrote this storyline and built Jinder up to look way more vicious of a heel than you made him look. You made him look weak at every single turn you could. You made Rhea and Shanky look weak at every single turn that he could, and you still built Drew McIntyre up to look like he's Hulk Hogan. Not even John Cena or Roman Reigns. Drew McIntyre looks like he don't even know how to lose a match. You know what I'm saying? And that's crazy to me. It's like, I'd rather Drew McIntyre to be a villain. I feel like we need a super villain. There's no reason that Drew McIntyre looks stronger than Bobby Lashley does as the world champion. As your WWE champion and being the heel, why does the face look so much stronger? Even though he lost, even the match that he lost in, because he never beat him clean. Bobby's never beat Drew McIntyre clean in those championship matchups. And the time that they did, got it 1-on-1, Drew McIntyre got the best of Bobby and won. So even still, Drew McIntyre looks to be, on a whole nother level than anyone else. Only other person right now you can really see him facing is Roman Reigns, which kind of brings something to mind, and we'll talk about that in just a little bit. But let's go into this triple threat match for the Raw Women's Championship, where Flair regained the title from Nikki A.S.H, defeating her and Rhea Ripley in a triple threat matchup. This was a pretty good matchup. You can see how the card was built out. They were starting to build strong. They let you down. The Drew and Jinder match was kind of to calm you down a little bit. And this match right here was the match they picked to pick up the energy right back up in the stadium. So if you're not in your seat for these next matches closing out the show, you're going to miss it. You're going to miss something great, right? Now, I believe the right move was made again. Charlotte Flair should have been a champion. She had never lost that title to Nikki in the first place. Made no sense to me. Only reason I think that they possibly did something like that is that so Charlotte could have, another notch under her belt as a title holder. So now her reign, I believe, is at 10 or 13, something crazy. But just to really put a notch onto her on her legacy, essentially. Charlotte has another good 3 to 5 years left in the company if she chooses to stay with WWE. She is going to eventually tie and then beat Ric Flair for holding the most championships or world championships in the WWE. That's how they're going to build her out. That's what she's going to be by the time her career ends. As long as she continues to have a healthy, good career, that's how it's going to end. I guarantee it. She's going to go over Ric Flair, and that's going to be one of the biggest moments in WWE history, seeing a female wrestler have more championship reigns than not only a male, but someone like the Nature Boy Ric Flair. So I think this was going on here. But now we got Flair with this title. Hopefully, you know, do drop and jump in there and go ahead and throw a name in that hat. Maybe not right off the back, but, you know, eventually, you know, build up towards that. If you see Monday Night Raw, then you know, it didn't go as I planned. But hey, I don't mind. At least it's a new challenger. This next match, whew, this was the second match where I didn't know where it was going to go. I didn't know who was going to win. I actually had it wrong. I thought Steph was going to win. Edge defeated Seth Rollins. Not only did he defeat Seth Rollins, but he defeated Seth Rollins via submission. Now, I feel like this is one of those matches where Seth Rollins has to go back and rebuild. I think this is the perfect opportunity. Remember when I was talking about Drew McIntyre and Jinder Mahal? The draft is right around the corner. Edge winning that matchup is the perfect time for Edge to go over to Monday Night Raw and then challenge someone like Bobby Lashley. This is the perfect time for Drew McIntyre to get drafted to SmackDown and then challenge Roman Reigns, since he's clearly, you know, the only person that's on the same level, the same tier as Roman Reigns right now. You got to put him on the same brand. At the same time, this is the perfect time for Seth Rollins to go over back to Monday Night Raw and to start to rebuild himself. But this matchup, this was an amazing match. This was the second best match to me. If you got the match of the night for you, I can't complain. I can't even, I won't even try to talk you down from it. But this match was absolutely amazing. If you enjoyed the Randy Orton and the Edge matches when Edge first returned not too long ago, this match, what these guys did at that pay-per-view, I mean, they put on a show. They put on a show. I think Roman Reigns and Cena was sitting back there watching like, yo, okay, we got to step it up to a whole nother level, because these guys looked like they was closing out the show. They wrestled like they was in the main event. They wrestled like that matchup was the end of SummerSlam. It was so good. I mean, I was satisfied. I was satisfied. SummerSlam could have went off the air. No championship matches at the end. And I would be like, I'm cool. Great SummerSlam. That's how you end it off. That's the type of matchup I could watch over and over again. So I can't wait to see these guys hopefully lock it up again, maybe like 6 months down the line. Maybe these two cross each other paths again on Monday Night Raw on the way to who's going to challenge for the WWE Championship. Hell, maybe these two both go to Monday Night Raw and one of them win the WWE Championship, and then we see these guys fight for the title. Maybe a Hell in a Cell type match. Oh my God, like this match was so good. This was an amazing match, but the question is right now, where does Edge go from here? The draft is not tomorrow. So these guys still have to show up on SmackDown. I would love to see Edge and Nakamura go at a nice little feud for that Intercontinental title belt. I think that would be a great matchup between these two guys. Hell, that would be an awesome hard-hitting affair. I wouldn't mind seeing Edge actually go over and carry the IC belt, you know, for a couple of months until the draft start, and maybe he get drafted and they take the IC belt, and then SmackDown takes the United States belts back to SmackDown. That would be awesome as well. But more importantly, where does Seth Rollins go? Like I said before, we seen when he took another devastating loss like that before. The Messiah was born. What's going to happen now? I mean, Cesaro, he got the best of you. Now we got Edge. You fought your heart out. You fought a A+ matchup, and Edge still had the best of you. He was the better man. So what does Seth Rollins do from here? Where does Seth Rollins go? And now you gotta tune into SmackDown, because you gotta see exactly what's gonna happen. That's what I mean. They have so much talent on the SmackDown side of things that it's gonna lock you in week after week. And the next matchup, I'm not gonna lie, man, it brought the crowd down just a bit. I didn't like the finish of this matchup. It was Bobby Lashley defeating Bill Goldberg. They had to stop the match because Bill Goldberg couldn't continue. He took that shot to the knee by MVP with the cane, so he couldn't continue the matchup. To me personally, it started off pretty decent. It started off better than I thought the match would actually start. You know, the last time, you know, we seen Goldberg in the ring, it wasn't too impressive. And I feel like this was better than that. I'll say that much. But the finish was horrible, man. The finish was bad. The Bobby Lashley locking on the hurt lock to Goldberg's son. I didn't really like that. I wasn't too impressed by that. I feel like that was the perfect time for somebody like Big E to come down and stop what was going on and kind of like, you know, set the tone for, hey, I will be coming after your title next. But what I think happened is that Bobby Lashley and Bill Goldberg is probably going to lock it up again at maybe the Royal Rumble or at WrestleMania sometime next year when Bill finally healed up. His knees are 100%. He's back. I think these two are going to lock it up again. But like I said before, Bobby Lashley has to dominate Bill Goldberg. If you want Bobby Lashley to look as dominant as he should look, to look like the guy that can go out there and beat a Drew McIntyre by himself, he has to go out there and dominate the likes of a Bill Goldberg. Like, you dominating guys like Kofi, okay, fine, no disrespect to Kofi, but you know, not on the same level as Drew McIntyre. That doesn't give you the same, that's not the same feel. So you have to really kick it into another level when these guys lock it up again. Now, we'll be interested to see who's Bobby going to defend his title against next, seeing as though Bill Goldberg will be out for a while. That's going to be pretty interesting. I think I know we'll definitely get a new challenger because Drew McIntyre can't even challenge for the title if he wanted to. Now, on to the main event. Man, this was how you close out a show. This is what a main event is all about. I know people have been saying they're tired of seeing Roman Reigns in every main event all the time or kicking off the show all the time. He gets to pick where he want to wrestle at. Look, when your storylines like this and they're that good and your matches are like this and they're that good, there's nothing to talk about. It's nothing to talk about. He can wrestle wherever the hell he want to wrestle at. This was how you close out a pay-per-view. This match was damn near perfect. The story told from start to finish. It was a slow build. It was Cena pretty much saying, look, I know, only need 3 seconds. I have to keep you down for 3 seconds. 3 seconds that you're not paying attention. 3 seconds that you're off your game. 3 seconds that your mind is wandering somewhere else. That's all I need to become the champion. And they made you believe it. They made you believe that Cena was going to win this title. Oh my goodness. They made you believe it so many times. F you through the table. Rolled him into the ring ASAP. It wasn't a struggle to get into that ring. He hit the move. He picked him up, rolled him into the ring, a 2 count. A FU off the second turnbuckle. What? He didn't hesitate to get into the pin, right into the pin. A 2 count. I mean, you wouldn't be surprised if Cena did win the championship. So in my mind, the second rope turnbuckle, I was like, oh my God, it's over. It's over. They had the crowd in the palm of their hands this whole matchup. This whole matchup. They sold their asses off with each other every move. They made you believe every second that, damn, right here the match could have been over. The match could have been over. So many falsies in that matchup where you thought the match was over. Nah, we just getting started. We not even at the midway point yet. And they just continue to turn it up and turn it up and turn it up all the way to the climax at the ending of the match. Just when you thought like, okay, I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what else he can do. Boom. That's when Roman Reigns had his opening, and that's when he put Cena out. This was an amazing match. And the more impressive part is that Roman Reigns did it alone. When you're beating guys like Cena alone in a matchup like this, and then you have the Usos in your corner, Paul Heyman in your corner to help if you wanted to, you damn near look unbeatable. You damn near look like the guy that can be the one to finally knock Drew McIntyre off his Hulk Hogan pedestal. No, not the Drew McIntyre. I don't want to sound like I'm burying the guy, but I'm just saying, he's looking like he's unbeatable. But when you have someone like this Roman Reigns, oh my God, the chief of the table, the head of the table, the tribal chief, woo, the bloodline behind him, man, I don't see how he can be beat. Now, not only did they go off the show with a hell of a matchup, the best matchup of the night to me, in comes the Beast. Oh my God. In comes Brock Lesnar. Right? How wasn't this pay-per-view called WrestleMania? This is crazy, bro. How wasn't this called WrestleMania? In comes Brock Lesnar. He doesn't have to say a word. Roman doesn't have to say a word. And you could feel it. You could feel the energy. You could feel the tension between those two. And it's like, I'm coming back for something that's mine. It's like, damn. Does the Beast dethrone the head of the table? Does he come back right away? Is he going to show up on SmackDown like it's, oh my God, it's so much. It's so much going on. SummerSlam was amazing. It was an amazing pay-per-view. They ended it off with a bang. I seen videos surfing around with John Cena and Brock Lesnar in the ring after the match, and Brock is pretty much taking Cena to Suplex City. Damn, this was a hell of a show. They delivered. They gave you your money's worth and then some. I don't see how anyone could possibly say that this was a mediocre or okay pay-per-view. If that's the fact, then, man, I don't know what you're watching. The Roman Reigns, Cena, the A.H. and Seth Rollins match alone was amazing. Not to mention the Mysterios and Usos, which was a fun match to watch. The triple threat match, another fun match to watch. Sheamus and Damian Priest, another fun match to watch. RK Bro winning the champ. What are you talking about? Good pay-per-view. Really good pay-per-view. One of my favorite pay-per-views of the year so far. I know we're only a little bit more than halfway through the year, but definitely one of my favorite pay-per-views so far. Delivered on all aspects to me. This was amazing. A lot of good comebacks. Don't quite know where it's going to lead to yet or what's going to happen, but it's going to be interesting to see what happens with Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman kind of in the middle right there. Does Paul go back to the Beast? Does Paul stay true to Roman Reigns? Does Paul screw Roman Reigns? Will Roman Reigns then turn face because Paul screw? Like, it's so many different factors, right? Is Brock the face now, I guess? The pop he got was amazing. That music hit. No one was expecting that. No one was talking about it. It was no rumors. Man, that music hit. It's just, whew. If that didn't give you goosebumps, I have to question you as a wrestling fan. I'm sorry. That gave me goosebumps all over when Brock came back, man. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about SummerSlam. I thought it was a great matchup. How do you feel about so many titles changing hands? You had RK Bro, you had Priest, you had Charlotte gaining the titles. How do you guys feel about that? A lot of titles changed hands, that night. I'm not gonna even talk about the Becky and Bianca. Yeah, that happened too. But I don't even want to know your point of view on that. It was sick. It sucked. It really sucked. But what was your match of the night? I got Roman Reigns and Cena. Crazy match. Cena looked like he's going back on his break for a little bit, but he did say he would be at the September the 10th show of SmackDown. So who knows what that may lead for John Cena? Maybe he's going to challenge Brock Lesnar for the fact that he took him back to Suplex City. But I don't know. What was your match of the night? I would love to hear from you guys. And where do you see this SmackDown roster going forward? This SmackDown roster is stacked, bro. You got A.S.H, Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, possibly Brock Lesnar now, Becky, Bianca, Sasha, Bayley. Stacked. Street Profits, Usos. Dog, I love SmackDown roster right now. I love it. But let me know what you guys think. What's going to happen on SmackDown going forward? Where do you see Paul Heyman aligning himself? You think he's going to go back with Roman Reigns? You think he's going to go back to the Beast? Let me know, guys. And where do you rate this SummerSlam? I rate this as maybe, I'm going to give it a 4-star. A 4-star. Becky really was a big downer in that SummerSlam pay-per-view. And I'm so happy to have Becky back. I just didn't like the fashion that they brought her back, man. That's all. I'm happy to have Becky back, though. But damn. Why you had to do Becky like that? Why they had to Kofi Bianca? Why they had to Kofi Bianca like that? But it's whatever. Let me know where you guys rank this SummerSlam. I'm Kato. That was your SummerSlam replay. I will be coming right back with the Monday Night Raw replay. And then we got some AEW to get into. And then we're going to have SmackDown to get into. So you're going to be stuck with me. It's going to be a lot going on. But make sure you hit me in the comment section down below. Make sure you subscribe, hit that like, turn your notifications. So anytime that we drop a video, you'll be the first one to be able to go ahead and check it out. I appreciate it. Thank you for the love. We are finally over 300 subscribers. That was awesome. That was a little struggle, but we made it. We over the hump. So thank you to everybody who tuned in. And make sure you go and follow us on @TheWrestlingReplay on Instagram. That's where we'll have our contests. That's where we'll have our giveaways. So if you want to be tuned into that, you want to win some stuff, some free merch, some money, whatever, make sure you are tied in with us over there and you're following us. Because that's going to be a requirement for most of the contests and giveaways anyway. But that about does it for me. I'm Kato. I'm signing out. Peace.